Do you ever feel like the love and the hate that you have for one person is just going to rip you apart? Or have you ever been confused by it and thought, which is it? Do I love them or do I hate them? Has it ever been difficult for you to like decide, should I stay or should I go? I'm thinking here about a spouse or a boyfriend or a girlfriend. But sometimes this also applies to a parent. I know in my case, there were times that I felt a lot of hatred from my mother and times when I felt a lot of love for her. Overall, the love won out, but it had to be tempered with a reality check. My mother was not a safe human being. She was toxic and she was abusive. Now, I learned over time that I could spend 2 days with her and have a good time. Day 3, she was going to turn into a total toxic bitch. And I mean one who was capable of violence. So rather than cut her out of my life or out of my heart, I saw her as a sick person who had been molested by her grandfather and never gotten any therapy, and somebody who had endured years of domestic violence at the hands of my father and never got any therapy. And she was full of rage, and her ways of dealing with that was to express herself violently. This is not to excuse her. I don't cut her any excuse at all. I once told her, Mom, you could have gone to prison for what you did. And she goes, I didn't do anything. I said, that's right. Knowing that your husband was molesting your children and you did nothing, that's actually a prison sentence. Sorry that you didn't know that. She got so worried, she didn't want to talk to me after that. So I had to tell her, don't worry, Mom. The statute of limitations ran out in Oregon a long time ago. You're all right. So I was honest, I was upfront, I called out the bullshit, and at the same time, I kept my heart open. Because these are actual people, they're not caricatures, and they're people that I'm related to. And for every time that my mother was toxic or abusive, there were many, many, many times that she was also very loving and tender. And I get to have all of that. I don't have to decide that she was one thing or another. She was all of it. And so that boundary really served me well. Now, there were times I could not anticipate. Maybe I stayed over a little longer than 3 days. And at those times, if she started to indulge her toxic behavior, I had other methods of keeping myself safe, like leaving the premise, taking a walk, taking a drive, going to my hotel room, just refusing to be around it. And then hopefully she'd get her nervous system regulated and she'd be back to normal. Normal. They were both normal. She'd be back to something that was semi-sane so that I could enjoy being around her. I'm glad that I did that. I'm not saying that everybody should. You know, life is not a one-size-fits-all. I want to help bring options, like widen the paradigm so that we can look at how we have some choices. And I think it's crucial that we distinguish between our love for someone and a trauma bond. So if the trauma bond is causing you to subject yourself to repeated exposure to abuse, that's not healthy. That's a way in which you are hurting yourself by letting somebody else hurt you, no matter how much you love them. It's just not okay. With my dad, I really was not able to have contact with him. This man was mentally ill and he loved guns. So he was unsafe in ways that far exceeded my mother's tendency to slap. So telephone was about it. I called him about 3 weeks before he died to tell him that I love him. That never changed. I did love him. And he was a very dangerous man. So I exercised my right to have healthy boundaries and take care of myself. I just want to encourage you to do the same. You get to have that love in your heart, and you need to be able to see the abuse for what it is and figure out how you're going to keep yourself safe and sane and take really, really good care of you in ways that these people who perpetrated against you never did, because you deserve it. I would love to hear what you are actually doing as far as with family members in particular. I think this is something a lot of us navigate. Parents who are abusive and we don't want to cut them out of our lives. How do you navigate that in a way that keeps you safe and honors and respects your well-being? And of course, if you have cut them out of your life, that's perfectly valid as well, and it may be exactly what was called for. And I'd love to hear about that too. I would also appreciate it if you would like this video, maybe share it with somebody that you know could use it, and maybe even subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.